Good afternoon and welcome to Johnson Haygood Stadium for this week's press conference. The Citadel will travel to Gardner-Webb for this week's non-conference matchup on Saturday, September 13th. That is a 7 p.m. kickoff at Spangler Stadium. We have with us head coach Maurice Drayton for a few questions.
Good afternoon. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Samford, yeah, great trip. We're excited about the trip. We did some things well. Would like to talk about that initially. On offense, the 2-minute drive before the half was textbook. I even had a few of my coaches ask, why do we practice 2 minutes so much? Well, this is why. So now we're able to show them that. Fourth down conversions, we were at 100%. That's good. Anytime you go on fourth down, we had 0 penalties on offense. That was huge. We did not give up a sack. Our explosives went from week 1, 5 out of 9. We hit 9 explosives this week, which was good. And then Javante Graves Billups, who had the opportunity to go and start his life being a physical therapist. He got into multiple physical therapy schools. We were able to talk him into coming back, and we're actually costing him money right now because he's had to pay his own way, and he's paying to live here and work here in the summer. He went 6 for 6. We targeted him 6 times. He caught 6 passes for 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. On special teams, what we did well. Our punt team, we continue to average 45 yards plus. Did a really good job there. James Platt had a long of 56. On defense, we scored on defense twice. Anytime you do that, that is huge. Ball extraction is one of the things we work on pre-practice every day. Also on defense, in comparison from 2024 to 2025, interceptions, we went from 0 in 24 to this point in date to 3. Sacks, we've had 4 sacks this year. PBUs, 5, where in 2024 we only had 2. QB hurries, in 2024 we had 0 to this point. Now we have 6. Tackles for loss are at 10. Defensive touchdowns, this is huge, and I've really been hard on Coach Raleigh Jackson about scoring on defense when we get the opportunity. We've got 2 of those now, as you are aware of, and then fumbles recovery, we have 2. Now, the things we did wrong, we don't shy away from that. We lean into those conversations. We have to address those, and they're easier to address in a win versus a loss. Our red zone drives, we have to be better when we're in the red zone offensively. We have to get 6 points, extra point, 7 points versus 3 points. The pitches, we got to take care of the ball. The ball was on the ground, and for us, the ball is life. The ball is like breathing this good oxygen that we have. And we have to improve on third down. Week 1, we were something like 2 of 13. Week 2, we're 4 of 13. You say, yeah, we're improving, but that's not good enough. And I've talked about the red zone drives already. In special teams, things we need to improve on. We have to improve on our coverage units. Even though we're averaging 45.6 on punt, we have to be better in our coverage units. Our punt protection has to be better. So we've challenged Tony Coxum with that as well. And then on defense, we gave up 2 passing touchdowns. That's, as I say on the practice field, that's no bueno. That's not good. All right. And then the red zone scoring chances of our opponents right now is at 73%. We have to limit that. And then fourth down conversions, our opponent is converting at a 60% rate, which is not good enough for where we want to be. I told the team on Sunday after the win, because we're allowed to celebrate from the time the clock hits 0 until our next team meeting. I told the team, congratulations, but we left a whole lot of meat on the bone. And if we're a bulldog, it actually reminded me of my dog. I had a dog. My dad got us this dog. We were moving from West Virginia to Ohio, and to make the family feel better, he bought a family dog, and it was a good old-fashioned mutt. I think he was mixed with Rottweiler and German Shepherd, and that dog, his name was Hannibal Du Bois Drayton. He lived to be 17 and a half years old, but when he would have a bone, right after he stripped all the meat off the bone, yeah, he would eat all the cartilage. He would break that bone down to the marrow, and that's what I told the team what we have to do. You know, winning is good, but we're striving for perfection. We're striving for that day when we take all the meat off the bone. We can't leave anything out there, because with our goals and where we want to go, if you do that, it will eventually catch up with you. So having said that, and I got off on a tangent talking about my childhood, are there any questions?
Coach, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Obviously, you've gotten off to some slow starts in years past in the conference. How big was it to go 1-0 in the SoCon this past weekend?
That was huge. That was an emphasis. We talked about that ad nauseum, we have the chance to be 1-0 in the conference. There were no other conference games. So if we win this game, everyone is looking up at us, and I think the young men bought into that, and it was huge for us.
Outside of a couple of the pitches, how would you assess how Kobe and Quentin both played under center?
Yeah, so they're getting better. I lose my mind when a football is on the ground from an offensive standpoint. So not to take away from their performances, because both of them play well enough to win, we do have to improve in that area.
When you were talking about the dog and meat on the bone and whatnot, did you use any vernacular that David Bennett possibly taught you with your team about dogs?
David Bennett is a great mentor. He's a great human being, and we just have to always be mindful and conscious when we're in front of the camera. I do talk to him once a week, and what he said at that given time was 100% accurate for that team. As coaches, we stand in front of a podium. Yes, we're answering to the media, but our team watches this. And our team in, I believe it was 2000, make sure I tell the truth, 11, when Coach Bennett made that comment, it was needed. And you go back and check the record books. We won that following week. So the mission for the team was met. So thank you, Coach Bennett.
The young man that scored on the fumble return,
Cyree Smothers, yes.
How would you, whether it's him, how would you assess how some of the young underclassmen have been performing the first 2 weeks?
Yes, he's a true freshman out of Cincinnati, Ohio. My roots are from South Carolina, but I was actually born in Ohio, Xenia, Ohio. I played, my 9th and 10th grade football in the great state of Ohio. I can tell you the moment for Cyree wasn't too big. The Football Hall of Fame is in Canton, Ohio. He's been there before, even though he's south of that in Cincinnati. The crowds that he's played in front of are very, very large. The facilities that he has is top notch. So for him, it wasn't a big moment, and he did what he was instructed to do. I do have to say this. I want to give kudos to our two secondary coaches, Joe Jackson and Jason Simmons Jr. It is not easy to coach defensive backs, especially the corner position for me, being that I've played that. And those guys stood on their convictions about some things that we were going back and forth with, and it turned out that they was right. So, and I tell my staff, I tell my players all the time, I'm not afraid of being wrong. And I may have been wrong about some things, and it relates back to Cyree, and I am so excited that they stood on their convictions. So I wanted to mention those two coaches.
Coach, they were able to run 94 plays, Samford was, and you guys scored 2 defensive touchdowns, had 5 turnovers total. How do you kind of reconcile those two things in grading the overall performance of the defense?
Yeah, so we have to get off the field on conversion downs. So part of that is winning first or second down to get them behind the sticks. Coach Hatcher is great in tempo offenses. He's going to run a lot of plays. So the caveat to that is playing team football. If our offense converts on third downs, which I spoke about earlier, that's less snaps for our opponent's offense. And so that will decrease the 94 plays. So we have to be better holistically from top to bottom, all phases.
I guess looking ahead to this weekend, Gardner-Webb obviously played a Power 4 opponent in Georgia Tech. What do you take away from anything from that game going into this weekend?
Well, not only Georgia Tech, but their first game, they beat Western. Coach Reisert is doing a fabulous job. All right, they were down 35-7 against Western Carolina, and with him having 45 transfers, you heard me right. 45. He's got 45 transfers, and a lot of those transfers are from major FBS programs. He is doing a fabulous job of keeping them together. Anytime you're a leader of men and you have multiple people from all walks of the earth, as I'm going through their roster, they're from everywhere. And for him to be able to keep them together when they're down 35-7 and come powering back for a victory, they're doing something right. As I turn on the film and I look at the Georgia Tech film, these guys are not outmatched in the ACC. I'm talking about Gardner-Webb from a size component. They're not outmatched from a speed component. This team that we're going to play is very, very dangerous. And if anybody thinks this is a walk in the park, this is no walk in the park. This is a for real team, and I promise you they will be at the top of their conference. So this is a good game for us. All right. And, you talk about barometer games. We had the barometer against North Dakota State. Well, this is another one. This will be a tough opponent.
With that being said, I mean, how much did you take from your team mentally, knowing that they were not sulking after the NDSU game? They come back and pull off this big, I guess SoCon upset as far as the what line would say. I mean, how much do you take that your guys didn't kind of fall into the trap of, man, we're not that good, we didn't score against North Dakota State sort of thing?
No, you're absolutely correct with your line of questioning there. Because our guys didn't sulk, going into this contest with an opponent who has shown the ability to do some of the things we just talked about, we're sitting on the front 3 inches of our chair. We're leaning into the conversation. They're taking the coaching. So this will be a really, really good test for us. And don't forget, Gardner-Webb has a rich history of football. I believe it was Carol McCray, if I'm not mistaken, who won a national championship there. We have some local guys who were on their national championship team. John Craven was the quarterback, who's out of Goose Creek. A guy named Darren Nozzle, who lives in James Island. Jody Kafina, who has coached at Somerville. So this program has a rich and deep history. They were in the FCS playoffs just 3 seasons ago. So this is once again, this is a tough opponent.
How do you get a little bit more out of your running game? I know that's been a little bit of a concern for you.
Yes, it is a concern for me. The running game was the question. More in particular, the running back running game. I like what our quarterbacks are doing right now. You don't want to run those guys too much, but the running game, we're placing an emphasis on that. So we're excited because we feel like we have 4 human beings who have the ability, who can do what we need to do to win. Now, which one's going to rise to the crop and take the bull by the horns, as we say?
Kind of a two-parter here. Well, 1-0 in the Southern Conference. The way the Southern Conference is right now, this is up for grabs for anyone. Is that something you address with the players? And then are we going to see more of both Kobe and Quentin?
Yes. So our goals haven't changed, and obviously it's to finish at the top of the Southern Conference. But it's not our players' vantage point to look beyond the next opponent. You know, that's for me, that's for the coaching staff. So right now, the only thing that we preach and teach within our program is to go 1-0. And it's not even 1-0 on Saturday. Today's Monday. Let's go 1-0 on Monday. Let's go 1-0 on Tuesday in succession throughout the whole week. And if we do that, we'll be where we need to be at the end of the season. The next question was, will we see both quarterbacks? Yes, you will see both quarterbacks. Both of the quarterbacks has earned the right to play, and that's big for us, especially in today's climate. You have these freshmen who feel like, hey, I was a star in high school. I should be able to play now, and then you give them some mop-up duty at the end of the game or the end of a scrimmage, and they make a play, and they're beating on their chest, that entitlement thing. No, you have to earn it, Sunday through Friday to have the right to play on Saturday. And both of those quarterbacks have earned it, so they will have the right to play on Saturday.
Seeing if you'd heard about Dr. Brown being hired at St. John's Christian this morning.
Yes, sir. That made my heart happy. Dr. Brown, Jerry Brown, my high school head coach in the state of South Carolina when we moved from Ohio. I can't say enough about him. We arrived in Moncks Corner the same time. I was part of his first class that he had at Berkeley. But not only having Dr. Brown with us, Bruce Ellington will be coaching at St. John's as well. And Bruce is a family member of mine, a member of the church. I just, can't say enough good things about St. John's Christian Academy.
Going off that, knowing how much Dr. Brown kind of imparted on you, what do you think they can do to some of these kids at St. John's Christian?
Yeah, so what they're going to get the best out of them, but not only that, Dr. Brown is going to mold men for tomorrow. He coaches the whole human being, and no different than what we do right now. Truth of the matter is, Dr. Brown's the reason why I walked on at the Citadel. After playing my senior year with him, didn't have really much going on. And I said, hey, Coach, I want to keep playing ball. And he looked inside of me and felt like I had the ability to play. He said, hey, won't you walk on at the Citadel? So I applied to 2 schools, and I said, whatever school accepts me first, that's where I'm going. And the Citadel's admissions department got to me before the other school did.
Well, we appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.